That was fun.
Yeah. We'll see if I get yelled at for my rant about Billie Eilish. This is Hard Parking, brought to you by Right Honda and Right Toyota out of Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm your host, Jhae Pfenning, recording from my home studio here in Gilbert, Arizona, Southeast Valley. The valley is growing. On the last episode, I talked a little bit about the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and, of course, my birthday. One thing that I didn't bring up that I should have, and I don't know why I didn't, but it was the Bad Bunny halftime show, and here's why I feel like I need to talk about it. Number one, I was asked to by a good friend of mine. Back in October, Q, who was my regular guest, we talked about football. He's obviously my sports guest, and we talked about the halftime show and the selection of Bad Bunny. And we had both agreed that it was a little controversial given Bad Bunny's, outspokenness towards the current administration, immigration, all that kind of stuff. But we both also said that we think he's going to do fine. I said that he's probably going to find somebody to collab because he doesn't speak much English. I did say he doesn't speak English. And of course, I just totally triggered like all the Puerto Rican people, especially on TikTok where I said that. And I'm like, you guys, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're just trying to find stuff that I'm saying that you don't agree with, and therefore you're acting. I said, I live in a Bad Bunny house. I'm used to Bad Bunny. I'm married into a Puerto Rican family, 22 years of this year. So I've heard all the music before and all that kind of stuff. And so my point was I didn't understand the selection, but I felt that he was going to do an incredible job, and I guess we will find out. So fast forward to the Super Bowl. My biggest fear going into that, given how outspoken he's been, outspoken other people have been recently toward the current administration, my fear is, can you just get up there and put on a great show and don't turn it into an opportunity to get overly political or negative about what's going on. People don't need that right now. We just want to watch it. Meanwhile, Turning Point USA said, okay, if you're going to pick Bad Bunny, this very anti-red-blooded American persona, then we're going to do our own halftime show so you can click over to us. Now, I always thought that was kind of weird and funky, but let's take a step back from that. I recently saw a video from, I think, Kyle Brandt. I don't follow him on social media, but because of the way the algorithms work, as I've talked about before, I saw a post where he was talking about Bad Bunny and the halftime show. But what that was it was kind of a slice into history. And I will try to link that video in the description. It's from X. So you may be able to watch it, you may not be able to watch it. Sometimes X lets you watch stuff if you don't have an X account. Sometimes it makes you sign in or open an X account. But long story short, the halftime show used to be marching bands and all this boring stuff, or maybe there was like a trick or two, right? But it was in, I don't remember the year, early 90s, maybe 1991, 1992, in Living Color, the popular show in Living Color. I think everybody watching this knows what that is, at least even if you haven't seen it. Great comedy skit from back in the day. It was almost the Chappelle Show without the Chappelle Show, just a bunch of different things. That's who introduced us to Jim Carrey and all the Wayans brothers and all that kind of stuff, right? So they said, instead of watching the boring halftime show, you can flip over and watch in Living Color because we're going to do a special thing during the Super Bowl for the halftime show. And so a lot of people flipped over because, again, In Living Color was on top of the world, kind of like Bad Bunny is right now. In Living Color was on top of the world back then. And that took a ton of viewership away. And the NFL says, oh, damn. Okay, well, we need to step our game up. So the next year, or maybe I want to say it was the next year, that's when the very famous Michael Jackson Super Bowl that everybody talks about being the best ever, happened. And Michael Jackson being Michael Jackson, the entertainer that he is, it was great. It was great for the people in the stadium. It was great for people on TV, and the NFL never quite looked back. What's also funny on that is in 1995, I remember the Super Bowl because the 49ers used to be my favorite team at the time because I really liked Steve Young. Obviously, I think I've talked about this before, a big Deion Sanders football fan. He was my favorite player, top three player of all time for me. My favorite top three players of all time, Barry Sanders, Randall Cunningham. But I was really in tune with the San Francisco 49ers. And, that's when they played the San Diego Chargers. They beat them. And that's all I remember is that year and them beating the Chargers. I don't remember the halftime show at all. But when you go back and you watch what the halftime show was, Disney had a budget to put on something amazing, something like $20 million. And they just opened up the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom ride at the park. So what they did is they turned that halftime. They used that halftime as a way to promote Indiana Jones. And they had this really cool fire, skulls, fake fighting. And, Patti LaBelle was there. And the name escapes me. One of the more iconic, maybe Dean Martin. One of the more iconic singers in American history. So right now I could pause this and look it up, but I don't want to do that because I want to get through this. But it was epic. But it was crazy when you watch it. It's like, holy crap. This was in 1995. Like, I don't even think they could put that on now, but it was a lot of song, dance, theatrics, fake fighting, and it was really cool. So you guys got to check that out if I can remember to put it in the show notes. But I say all that to say this, back to Bad Bunny. So, and the Turning Point USA thing. So we watched it here at the house. Obviously, again, I'm in a Puerto Rican family. We had friends over and everyone's around the TV watching it. And we had it was so loud. Like we even had that louder than the game. Everybody is singing along that knows it. Some of us, like, we don't really care. Like, I don't really care. I'm on record as saying that. But every song that he sang, even if I didn't know the words because I don't, I've heard 400, 500, 600 times over and over. And I don't care. It's cool. To me, if music can make you wiggle or dance or whatever, it's fine. It's never so bad you just want to change the channel. But it was banging. And at the time, I said, man, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like the Kendrick Lamar one, to me, it was full of it was dedicated to dissing Drake, and it was I think it had some very anti-administration FU tones to it. And I wasn't a big fan of it anyway because of that. Or not just because of that. Sorry. And it wasn't because of that, but not just because of that. I just wasn't a big fan of it. This to me was the Bad Bunny one. At the time I watched it, was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. The energy was great. The set design was fantastic. And yeah, the crowd looked a little confused. Number one, most of them don't even know Spanish. But two, a lot of these modern halftime shows, they're built for TV. Unless it's in Jerry World, which is the nickname for where the Cowboys play with a giant screen, and it almost never is because all these Super Bowls are outdoors, you can't really see what's going on if you're at the game. So you're going to be a little confused regardless, and you can go back and look at all of them. They'll show some of the fans are cheering, but overall, they're kind of like, what's going on? So anyway, this stuff is made for TV. Now, 2 days later, my wife wanted to queue up old halftime shows and watch them, so she was watching the Kendrick Lamar one, all that kind of stuff, and so we watched the Bad Bunny one again, and I remember thinking, like, I looked over at the TV, I go, this isn't as good as I thought it was, but it didn't suck. So I still say that it was one of the best ones, and I'm okay with saying that. Now, I'm a little disappointed with some of the social media backlash, and I think this is one of those classic examples where it's one of two things. Number one, people are so caught up in their politics that they just refuse to say that it was a good show because it's but because Bad Bunny has shown to be anti-administration, and because of that, the show sucked. You have a hard time confusing me that wasn't the reason why somebody thought the show sucked. Because one thing that I've noticed, and I've been studying these politics now for a couple years, or almost a couple years, like I've been really into it, and I've been watching everybody, is had Bad Bunny said, well, if he would have gone to one of the Trump rallies, or he was like, I love America, I love Donald Trump, what they're doing is good, then the very people who said that they hated the show and said it was the worst one ever would have said, oh, this is phenomenal, we love the unity, we love the togetherness. And I firmly believe that based on examining so much stuff over especially the past 8 or 9 months. Like, I've really been dialed into everything. I don't talk about it as much as you think I do on the podcast, but I do know the hypocrisy, and it works both ways. And it was very disappointing to hear some of the people say the things they said. I'm like, how can you objectively watch this show and come to those same conclusions? The Turning Point USA, people are like, well, they want this full pro-America thing. And I had a good friend say what they're really saying is they want white, white, white. I push back on that. I don't think that's the case at all. And I think thinking that because you don't want to watch Bad Bunny and you want to watch like Kid Rock, that means you want America to be only white people and white music. I said, I said, that mindset is also part of the problem. Because what if it was Darius Rucker, right? What if it was, all this other stuff over there that, it breaks that narrative essentially. Now, if you think back, no matter who was playing in the Super Bowl, every year someone's complaining. People loved Kendrick Lamar last year. People also said, I have no idea what Kendrick Lamar is saying. When are we going to get Aerosmith back up there? You get Aerosmith. I don't know if Aerosmith has ever done it, but, you get Aerosmith up there and, some of the diehard rock groups, people are going to say, I don't want to hear this shit. Bring on the hip hop. And so it's a classic toxic tribal thing, as I said before. It's okay to like or dislike a halftime show, but as soon as you make it about politics, you've already lost. I think the Turning Point USA thing ultimately backfired on them, because what that's saying is we don't like what's there, because I think they were expecting it to be a full anti-Trump, anti-administration Super Bowl show, and it was anything but that. It was fantastic. There's some Cubans that are very upset about that one, but you can look those up. Cubans react to Bad Bunny. Just look it up. You'll hear a bunch of people. I'm not going to go down that road right now. But I just think there's so much hypocrisy, and there's always going to be a halftime show that people don't like. Another thing that people were saying was the language. If you take the language, everything that Bad Bunny was talking about and translate to English, so much filth, dirtiness, you can't let your kids watch that. I mean, give me a fucking break. Really? So we're all clamoring for Ice Cube and Eminem and Snoop Dogg and all those acts back in the day. And I'm a huge fan of all that stuff, but I've always find it very hypocritical, because how about we listen to their lyrics? I mean, there's not even a hip hop song, there's no hip hop popular song on the radio now, the clean version. When you play the regular version, it's filthy as fuck. All of them. Worse than it's ever been, in my opinion. Because at least back in the day when they would play a clean version, like the artist would literally have to record a completely different version of the song. Now, they just scrub it out. But anyway, and I'm going down a different track here. But anyway, it's the hypocrisy. Like, we all listen to Snoop Dogg, Dogg Pound. We all know the Dre lyrics. We all know Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube lyrics. We all know all their lyrics. We all do. 2 Live Crew, we all know that. If the Super Bowl were in Miami and Luke was up there and 2 Live Crew was up there, people would love it. And the other people would say, oh, that's so nasty and raunchy. Oh, by the way, have you heard all their songs? Disgusting, nasty, raunchy. But that's not the case, though, is it? Oh, and one more thing. Like I said before, I'm not even a huge fan of Bad Bunny, but 136 million households, or television sets, if you include the sports bars and all that kind of stuff, were tuned in to this halftime show, which, by the way, is the biggest number in Super Bowl history. It blew out Kendrick Lamar's last year. I don't know what that number is. I don't care. All that really means is most people don't even care about it that much. I mean, you'd have to really care about something to change the channel, or during the Super Bowl when half the people watching aren't even paying attention anyway, except for the few people who are actually watching. Usually people just go outside, have a smoke, do something else, use the restroom, go play bags in the backyard, and come in when the second half starts. Not that serious, folks. Just not that serious. Also, really quick, I want to talk about Seedance. Seedance 2.0, which is the newest AI engine that's basically broken the internet. Before it was VO3, which I thought was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. But this Seedance is a whole new ball game. AI has changed so much just in the 6 months we've been talking about it. Everything I said that can't do then, it can do now, which is super scary. And there's a bunch of videos out there, and they're all just for entertainment. But now you can watch Bruce Lee fight Donnie Yen, and you can watch Jet Li and Jackie Chan and all this stuff. And it doesn't look fake at all. Like, it literally looks just like them. I saw Bryan Cranston, pointing into the camera and talking. And my first thought was, okay, well, the actors can still at least act. They just don't have to shoot any more action scenes. But then you saw the Bryan Cranston clip, and he's looking right in the camera. And it's a shorter video. It's like 15 seconds. But oh my God. So we could talk about that in a future episode. But for now, coming up on today's show, Dre Mullins is in studio, and we get into it like we always do about the fun stuff. I love having him in. I love that energy, and I think you all appreciate how charismatic he is as a guest and as a friend, all that after this word from SparkForge, Arcus Foundry. If you run a business and you're tired of juggling tools, chasing logins, and constantly feeling like the tech side of things is heavier than it should be, this might hit close to home. That tech fatigue usually shows up as an outdated website, reviews slipping through the cracks, missed calls when you're busy, or social media that's always on the back burner. Most business owners know something's off, but fixing it feels like a bigger project than they have time for. SparkForge exists to take that weight off. It handles the tech behind the scenes, helps clean up how your business shows up online, makes sure calls and messages don't get mixed, keeps reviews from slipping through the cracks, and wrangles social marketing so you don't disappear for weeks. If you're curious, there's a short discovery session, and it comes with 90 days free to actually see if it makes things easier. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about what's working, what's broken, and what you can simplify. So head over to getsparkforge.ai/hard parking to get started.
I stumbled across this little, some dude, I wish I remembered the dude's name, but it's a pretty interesting conversation. He brought up the fact, because I think what was it, the big music award thing that just passed?
Fucking Grammys.
There we go. Okay, so what he brought up was this. He was like, you know what? I don't know about me, but let's go back 20 years. So this puts us back, 1984, 85?
It's longer than 20 years ago.
Well, 21, 22 years, right? Uh-huh. Because it's 26 now. Duh. So he went back
like
over
40 years ago.
Well, 40 years. I'm sorry. I'm 40. Because he's in the 80s.
26, yeah.
Dude, I'm old, bro.
I know.
I forget.
Me too.
I forget you got to go another 20 into the 19.
Yep.
Anyways, so he went back 40 years.
Yeah.
So we're like 84, 85. So he said, all right, I'm going to pull up all the top artists, album of the year, song of the year, whatever. The artist that he pulled up, which was crazy, it would be the artist, and then the producer was the same person. And they did all their stuff. And maybe one other person. One.
Right.
They brought up the ones for like this last year. You would see the artist, a whole list of people that they sampled or did something else with or helped create this song.
Right.
And then when you play the song, yeah, you know it. But when you played like the songs from 40 years ago, you knew everything about it. And if you played some of the newer songs, it's like they're sampled from those. And they're those songs from 40.
It's crazy, right?
And they're getting awards for it. Like,
well, there's songs that's come on the radio and I'm like, oh, I know this song. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, this isn't the same song.
No.
But it's all right.
But still, they're getting like the accolades of like they created it from the bottom up because they're performing it now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think there should be some type of rules now. I think somebody should go back and say, okay, listen, we got really good at a lot of computer stuff and everybody's recycling a lot of different things. I just think there should be like, hey, you're disqualified if you do X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Maybe they do it in sports. Like if I enhance or use something else, like you can't participate in the sport because you're kind of cheating. I don't know. Am I looking at this wrong or is
I don't pay attention to any of that anymore. It's a shit show.
Right.
The Grammys, the Oscars. I just don't watch any of that.
But I'm looking at it from a point of I don't
from
care
a creative.
Right.
Yeah.
Is anybody notice?
No one's original anymore.
Right. I'm not an artist, so I'm not like up in arms. It was just like something I brought up, and I'm like, I don't think that's quite right. And I want to know who what anybody else has. Maybe an artist be like, yeah, of back in the day might feel about the ones now like that are using everybody and their mother to try to even make something decent. But whatever.
Maybe I should just roll that into the intro.
Oh dang, my bad.
Oh no, but yeah, we'll just come in hard, come in hard. That doesn't sound.
Hey, pause, man. Hey.
Yeah. Dre Mullins is my guest. Dre Day is back in studio. He recently went to Southwest Speed Festival. I was unable to go, as I said on a previous episode. So I want to get his rundown of what he's experienced. We just got done kind of ranting about the Grammys, but in a different way. It wasn't about the Grammys itself, but sort of the creativity, because we're not going to talk about how artists and entertainers use this as a political platform, and most of the time they have absolutely no idea what the hell they're talking about and cannot identify with the very people they are claiming that are being oppressed by any way, shape, or form. We're not going to talk about the controversy from this Billie Eilish saying that nobody is illegal on stolen land. which she's based. The entire world is making a mockery of that, and the tribe that her $14 million house in L.A. is built on, the Tuvunga tribe, whatever. Because she said that, now they're trying to get their land back, and there's an attorney that now is trying to pro bono do work, and it's not, none of that's going to work, right?
No, I don't. Yeah,
but it's just another case of people, and this is a platform, so I can say what I want.
yes,
This is my platform. Billie Eilish and Bad Bunny and all of them getting up there with the political stuff. I know Bad Bunny comes from a place of not having much, right. So at least he's been there.
right.
His opinion. Their opinion's their opinion. I just wish that they were more educated when they want to give their opinions because they have a lot of influence.
Right.
And every Billie Eilish that sits up there and says stuff like that, there are tens of millions of people in America and around the world who are like, yeah, that's right. And next thing you know, they're trying to reclaim land, and it's a fundamental of loss of knowledge, I guess, at the end of the day. And it's just, so we're not talking about any of that.
No. I am not versed in it. I can kid two shits about what they believe and all the other stuff because it's their belief, how they were raised, whatever.
It's not even their belief. It's just whatever they're saying, whatever the popular thing is.
And that's on them. But I just think there's so much more underneath that just kind of needs to be addressed to even, hold a good point.
Everything is far more complicated than just saying a statement like that.
Exactly. Know? Just me trying to explain, like, just the Grammys from 40 years ago. Haha, math got me. 40 years ago to the Grammys now. How when they announce artists, it's just different. And what's went into a song back then, well, I guess you could say things evolve and things get better, but you don't see the one-on-one work or bodies of work that you did back, I guess, 40 years ago versus now. Well, I guess you kind of do, but it just seems like there's just a lot more hands that are creating something that's already kind of been done.
Well, I don't think you're that dialed into sports because you're just smarter than me and you're just too busy doing other things.
Bro. But just too dumb to pay attention.
What I had said was that I didn't realize that what I was watching a highlight of was the actual Pro Bowl game. It was a flag football game because they stopped wearing pads in 2022. And I forgot about that. And it's like, man, whatever happened to the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s when the players actually made the Pro Bowl and it actually mattered, where now it's just like it is literally a flag football game. And it's just everything's just different now.
I get it. People are being more cautious. They're looking at the longevity of their career. You're doing one,
Well, the agents and the team owners originally started pulling people off the rosters because they didn't want their investment to get hurt.
It makes sense to me. I mean, you're going with a full contact sport on something that's on the side. You're not even playing for the longevity of your team.
Yeah, they get a bonus. I think the winning team back in the day, they would all get like $10,000 each. And it might pay for their vacation or their family. And I get it. They just, they should just stop playing the game and just award people like, okay, Dre Mullins had an excellent season. You have made the All-Pro team.
Correct.
And then that's what you have without ever having to play a game, and that way you don't get these substitutes and stuff like that. And they do have an All-Pro team, but I think they should have an All-Pro, the NFC All-Pro team, the AFC All-Pro team, first and second team. That should just be it. It should just be something that's announced, and then you don't play any games, whatever else. It's just, Anyway, so you went to the Southwest Speed Festival a couple weeks ago. What were your impressions? Because we went together 2 years ago, the last time it was in. That's correct. Last time he actually had it, or 18 months, how long. I know they didn't have one in 25.
No.
So that was 24 and then 26.
Correct.
And you went. So how was that?
I really enjoy it. Kind of going over the last few car events that I've been, Southwest Speed Festival is like a breath of fresh air for me because I love racing. I love the whole getting down and dirty, the teams coming together, the people. This is their like love, So they have their cars they're put together. They're gonna go out on track, give it their all, make their tweaks, and go back. Just to see the back and forth and go through their little areas, freaking awesome. I mean, they had like open wheel racing, had even closed wheel racing. Then they even had a little
time attack too, right?
Time attack.
Right? I think there's 5 or 6 different categories.
It was a few,
at least.
But I was there, and it was funny, crazy, because my son, he's not really into cars that much, but he decided, hey, Dad, yeah, he wants to roll with me. So he even had a ball. Like, Dad, this is really amazing. I get to see all these different cars, do all these different things. I was like, you're seeing what I want you to see in cars. I just don't want you to see that they're models all the time. Granted, they're beautiful showpieces, but I want you to experience why people put the time and effort into their cars to do this. And it was a lot of fun.
And there were some amazing cars there. I was looking at some people's photos and things on social media, and I was like, wow, even the car show aspect of it, right? Which I think you registered for.
Yes, I did.
It's more of a car display versus best Acura, third, second, first place. Like, it wasn't that type of car show. It was more of a car display.
Right.
But they had some legit cars. They had some legit track-looking cars on display, too.
It was really good to see a lot of the people's track cars that were really put together well and out there using them and just looking phenomenal. Then you also, like you said, the little show car area. I don't consider my car a show car. I consider
you drive an NSX.
It's a 94 NSX, yes. But compared to the rest of the NSX community, I think I'm just right along the middle of everybody else. So I consider myself just a maintainer. And I remember being a young kid. So when I have the ability to display my car, I'm looking for like the kids and the people to come over and experience the car, get in there, do something with it. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be here after I'm gone. And if I share this vehicle with as many people as I can, hopefully I can spark something in them that was sparked to me when I was younger.
I think that's the difference, though, right? Because it was a display car, and I know what you're saying, and other people listening or watching may be a little confused, or maybe they're not. But my old NSX was a show car. It was a go car, obviously, and I drove it everywhere, but I modified it to compete in car shows versus you, like you said, maintain it. It looks great, and you take it wherever it needs to be, and it's on display, but it's a display. It's not a trailer queen, I guess is what people call it.
I love it when people pick out, hey, your fender liner's a little messed up right here. Hey, is that the right OEM screw in that one? I'm like, no. I don't care. I just want to go on the twisties, have some fun, and if something happens, I get a little butt clenching moments, but outside of that, I can fix it pretty much and just get back out there and have a great time and experience the car the way I think the engineers intended the car to be experienced.
So you're in no danger of ever winning Best of Show.
Oh, nah, bro.
But depending on the car event, you might win People's Choice because people love NSXs.
That is true. And that would be by complete accident because I'm typically always inviting all the better looking NSXs to come to go to that show so I can just fade to black back and just do my own
Have
thing.
you registered for one less yet?
I did register for one less auto.
Maybe I did retweet that or repost that. Yeah, one less car show. Okay, because that's coming up on February 21st.
21st February. So I did register for that. And I registered also for the Fountain Hills one. So the Children's Hospital.
Yep, on the concourse on the hills in Fountain Hills with the Phoenix Children's Hospital.
And with those type of events, man, I'm starting to understand how do I say this? I'm starting to find a little more value in more of the giving back car events than a lot of the other ones because it just seems like there's a different demographic that's there, and I just want to take time to actually express and share at those type of events, and also spend a little time giving back, man. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, I guess the benefit of those is that your registration goes towards the charity, and it literally comes with a donation receipt.
Correct.
And it's kind of a win-win.
Yep.
And then there's another one coming up in Anthem. Let me pull it up. It used to be the Phoenix. It used to be the Tempe Town Concourse that Moderate Culture and my friend Aaron Forster, who's been on the podcast several times, put together, and they had a really successful for I think 2 years. And then the Sound of Tempe was like no more car shows because the state was giving them money to get rid of street racers, and that was the dumbest fucking thing ever because that had absolutely shit
Nothing
to do with shat.
It just sucks because you
Pull
have
the name up here while you're talking.
One side of the car industry that everybody knows bad and bad things happen and gets publicized on the news and all that other stuff. But then you do have a really good, solid group of people, man, that just want to appreciate other people's builds and learn from each other. And it's not like, I guess you can do it all on forums, but it's nothing like doing it in person and actually seeing it and talking through other.
Yeah. So this is the Sonoran Charity Concourse, benefiting Phoenix Children's, Modern Culture, and Aaron's Eccentric Garage. And this is coming up on March 21st.
I'll probably signing up for that one too as well.
It's up in Anthem. So 300 plus show vehicles, premier grass staging. So maybe you can sign up to be a premier vehicle.
It won't be mine.
Food and vendor festival, but and this is up in Anthem, but it's stuff like that. I try to go to those shows too.
Yeah.
And then Edgar on One Auto wants to try to put together a cruise, maybe Canyon Lake, he said.
Wow,
and that's just a random thing, so maybe we can do that at some point before April.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as I'm included, I know plan ahead, I'm down. And cruises are a lot more fun than the, post.
You love cruises. Grace Bashar, which you don't know, she used to be like my main contact at United Food Bank.
Okay.
She did like corporate partnerships, and she started Finding Grace Foundation, I think 2024, maybe December 24. And so she wants to get together and maybe put together some sort of a charity car show, maybe in downtown Gilbert. So I guess, be looking for something like that in March or April, because I'd really like to help make that happen as well, because she's a great person. And, we're not a charity organization, but it doesn't hurt to do charity events, fundraisers.
Absolutely. Listen, the more we get out there, the more we're showing we're helping, and we're, engaging with the community and doing our best. I mean, that's what it's about, helping each other. And then why you have a cool car to share a story with somebody else, it makes it just that much more fun, in my opinion.
Speaking of cool cars, you have a blue NSX on your shirt.
Oh, hey, shout out to NSX. What was it? Repair? Was it Rack Repair?
That's Rack Repair.
Yeah, Rack
NSX
Repair,
Rack Repair. Yeah. And I haven't had Charles on the podcast in years.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, I guess you got to come back, Charles.
I don't even know if he listens to the podcast anymore, but he's still a really good guy. But that's back when him and Matt would get on, and obviously Matt passed a few years ago. But I pulled up the Prelude. I was going to ask you about the 26 Prelude and all this stuff with that, because did they have one in? Because we went to Long Beach 2 years in a row. So they had the first year they had the red one there, which was the concept in the hall. I don't remember if they had one last year.
No, last year.
Were you the one that found the kids in the back seat?
That wasn't me. No, that wasn't me. That was I think maybe. No, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I think that was Tuck.
These kids were remember that story so they had the Prelude out there, and one of you guys heard some kids like, let me out, and the kids had crawled into the trunk of the fucking car on display. And that wasn't the Prelude, but I think that was like the Type R or something, like the Civic that was
Type
right
R.
there.
Yeah, Civic Type R.
What the hell? But the Prelude's out, and I haven't seen one in person other than that, and I think they kind of look the same. But do you have thoughts on that car? We probably talked about it before, but we're going to talk about it again.
Let me preface this. Let me just think.
Oh boy,
I'm a Honda boy, man. I'm a Honda fan, and I feel like Honda, we're in that. If you follow any football teams and you've had a team that's just been like struggling, I just feel like we're kind of in that lull right now.
So we're all Buffalo Bills fans, but Buffalo's on the up and up. Honda's on the up and up, or no?
I don't know. I think on the technology and efficiency level, they pretty much stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But the Prelude, I actually went back. My dad actually bought the first gen, and he used the Prelude to drive from about an hour commute from the Inland Empire of California all the way into Beverly Hills where he worked. And it was economy, gas, saver at that time, Prelude, huh? But it was in that boxy shape. And then you remember later down the line, they kind of started going to that wedge shape. This one here, it looks like somebody cheated on somebody's test and designed it to look like another vehicle that's out there. And the Prelude to me was something that kind of branched off and showed a little bit of polished, sporty look. What
would you compare this 6th gen, right? This is a 6th gen Prelude. What would you compare this to out there? Because
I don't know who this car is for. Think about this.
That's not what I asked you.
I know. Who would I compare it to? A Prius?
It is very Prius-like in design. It's very Toyota Camry, I think. It's like in
Yeah,
the front.
but
The
that
front.
wasn't. It's
Think of it as a Ferrari SF90.
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
so far away. No.
I think the front. I've said it before. I think the front, the way the lights are, they're very Ferrari SF90 Prius Toyota Camry, which makes sense because it's a Toyota Prius.
But who's it for though? I mean,
Right, young business professional or the da-da-da-da.
But why are they? Okay, so but the price point of that car is what, 40, 50 grand?
It's. I want to say it's. I have it pulled up over here. Some dealer markups exceeding 60, but I think it's priced at maybe 37.
Can we honestly just say
42?
40 grand? Is everybody okay? Just round it up, and say 40
We'll just
grand.
say 40 grand.
All right. So you're okay buying a $40,000 car and at that price point, and not buying a Civic Type R that's more sporty build, more power.
You'd have to buy a used one, I think.
Oh, yeah, you buy a used one, but
so do you like the car or not? Look at that.
No.
I don't mind the car. I think it looks better in person than the photos, like most cars. I don't want that car. I'm not in the market for that car. I'll never be in the market for that car. I watched John Rivers, friend of the show, Jonathan Rivers of Acura, do his review on his Drive Culture channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not a fan of the car as far as overall, but I don't dislike the car.
Well,
it's just not for me.
Listen, it's for who likes the less than $200 people that bought it. More power to you. But I don't know, man. Maybe
I think Honda Pro. I think he has one. I think he's kind of big on it. Honda Pro, Jason.
Yeah. Okay, but let's think about this though. If we go back to like the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember all the cars that are being out there. The EG, was never like, oh my God. It was like the car I wanted. However, when the right tuners got a hold of it, it changed and it was like, okay.
How old were you in the 90s?
I was in high school. So like what, 17, 18. But even now though, I still like those cars and what they can do and how easy they are to maintain. I look at it differently from just on a maintenance level because I'm not trying to spend 50 grand every 4 or 5 years. But anyways, I don't see where this car can be. What are we changing? What are we adding to make it more appealing to me? Or what we're going to upgrade or move around the car that's, going to make it more, I don't know, accessible. I don't like it, man.
Did you see?
I just don't like it.
Did you see? I think it was the Super GT or the GT version of it, the race car version, and the race car version of almost any car looks
better,
pretty damn good, but it's not. You're never gonna get it.
I just no.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some of these numbers, and I have it pulled up over here. You can't see it.
Okay.
174 units sold in December. According to this, 174 in December. Here, the total sales from November to December is 204. This month, January, they actually did better. They increased by 6%. They're still behind overall.
Okay.
They expect that the sales to reach between 4,000 and 5,000 units per year. I don't think they're going to make very many on top of that. So they're a little bit behind, but I don't think it's abysmal. But with dealers, trying to charge up to $60,000, I don't know. It says right here, comes in one trim and costs $43,195. So I don't know if that includes destination and everything else. But I think, although it comes in one trim, I'd be shocked if they don't come out with like a Type R or Type SH or something.
It probably down the line. And maybe, you know what? Maybe they might give it a facelift in like 2 years like they did your car.
Well, think about the Integra when it first came out.
Okay.
And people were killing it.
Yep.
It's a great looking car in the Type S form.
Right.
I mean, it's a great looking car.
Right.
And so I think at the end of the day, the Prelude was supposed to be a little more sportier and special.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it probably is outside of a Type R Civic because there's no Civic, SER or whatever the other trims were.
SI and all that.
SI, yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah, I remember.
So maybe it's that. I don't know. I mean, but it's $220 12 horsepower. It doesn't have a lot of anything to it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just hovering in the middle of a lot of decent cars that are already out for Honda. So like you mentioned the Integra. Yeah, it's an Acura product, but you got the Type S Integra. You have the Type R Civic, Type R. You have the regular Civic. You have a regular Integra, and then you got this Prelude that's kind of in the middle of all four.
Yeah, it kind of lacks an identity. I wonder, looking back a few years from now, how it's going to be looked at. And I think as soon as people start doing what they're going to do to it, people's perception of it will change, just like the MK4 Supra. Everybody hated that car when it came out because it didn't look like the FT1, and there's no way it was going to.
But do me a favor. When did the Supra drop?
I don't even remember.
Okay. It had to be in
2020, 19, 20. It was after I started doing the podcast.
But if you check how many they sold in the first 3 months, I guarantee, even though there was a lot of hate, I guarantee it was accepted way more than this Prelude situation.
MK5, I'm sorry. I think I said MK4, didn't I?
I don't know.
Yeah, MK5 Supra. The most,
But just I get it. I understand, they wanted to. I think they put the name out there to get rid of some parts, man. So they were like, hey, look, we got a bunch of parts. This ain't going to go over too well. When we slap this Prelude name on the back, everybody going to be like, ooh, and we'll just clear our bins, and then we'll go ahead and.
There's still time, but the 5th Gen Supra, the A90 Supra, experienced a strong initial sales launch. 2019, 2020, significantly outselling the final years of its predecessor, despite being limited to automatic transmission. Over 2,800 units were sold in the first partial year of 2019.
You said how many?
2,800.
So,
growing to nearly 5,900 in 2020.
All right. Once again, and they hated that car. So this one here is, no one's really saying anything bad about the Prelude, but numbers don't lie, man. Something is amiss, I believe.
Let me ask you about so Yvette wants to get a new vehicle.
Understood. Oh God.
She's got the MDX and our Lease. I've been telling her week after week. We're beginning month after month. Now we're down to the final weeks of this thing. So we're about 45 days from figuring out, right? Mm-hmm. And she wants the impossible. She wants the car that can hold everybody the 3 times a year that she's going to use it.
Suburban.
But she doesn't want a car as big as a Suburban.
Okay.
Right? And so I'm trying to push her into these different things. And I said, well, let's just get a Kia Telluride. You can get a fully equipped Kia Telluride, anything you would ever want in your wildest dreams, and come out paying about the same that you're paying right now for your MDX. Well, I don't know if I want that. Okay, well.
What is it about then?
So I'm trying. I think she should. I honestly think after doing One Drink Wednesday and Acura guy, Steven the Acura guy up in Canada saying, why don't we just get an MDX Type S? That's something I tried to get her to get initially, but she didn't want to spend the extra money. From a lease, because she wants to lease again. Mm-hmm. I mean, from a lease, I'm thinking she should probably just get the best that she thinks she wants to pay for because it's a lease and not a purchase.
Absolutely.
So I think she should get a Type S, even though you can't spec them out anymore. So what does that mean? They're not really. They've already built what they're going to build. Is that what that means?
Yeah, all inventory is at the dealerships or to be sold. So.
Yeah, because when you go to Acura.com, there's no build mine option. So, I don't know, but I don't know what I should try to push her into. What are some things of people that are in our position need to look out for? And you have the experience. Maybe you can help talk her down.
Dude,
because I'm trying to nudge her into different cars.
I might not be the best person because so giving a little background of my history.
Well, she might sell the car because all these people on TikTok are telling her that she needs to sell her lease.
Yes.
And the agreed value that the dealership is something like 40-something thousand. I'm like, yeah, if I can sell it for 40-something thousand.
But okay, working in the car business. So my background in the car business, I was a finance director for Mazda, Nissan, and CDJR. Anyways, it has tainted me. It has really made me really like.
That's why you're sitting in front of me on this question.
Anxious to answer any car questions because I know the motive behind the machine. I get it. And
we talked about that last time.
I don't care how nice car people are, what they're doing. This is not a non-profit organization. I'm just being honest. So I want people to understand it does not matter. They are always going to win. And you have to be okay with what you are willing to pay. Now, some people get hung up on brands. Some people get hung up on, features, things of that sort. You're paying it. So I would have her go touch and feely all the things and whatever she a little heart desires, go towards. Granted, the negotiation part is what it is. Hopefully you get it to where you need to be, but Lord have, man.
Well, she wants the moonroof. And I told her that you can get that on the Telluride, just not on the base version. She was looking at a Lexus TX, which I never even heard of because they were new for 25 and 26. The base model is like 70 grand and it doesn't have what she wants, or maybe the base model is like 58. But the one that she wants is the hybrid, which is the next one up, and it's like 12 grand more. But she wants the moonroof. Why? Why does she want it? I'll tell you why, if you think about my life in this circus. Because Zeke wants it.
Exactly.
Because the little kids
want to look up the sky.
Want to look up at the sky.
So
now it's become a requirement to have this fucking moonroof.
They fall asleep.
Right. I'm like, okay, well, then you're going to have to pay for it.
But you're going to pay for it?
I don't want to pay it. It's like, okay, well, get something bigger. Get a Suburban. Get a GMC Yukon Denali or something.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah. You can buy one on the used
80
market
grand,
too.
But she wants to lease.
Get somebody. Oh, no. So, yeah, you got to get a new.
I'm trying to push her toward a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Okay. That's actually not bad.
We got Toyota right here, right? Toyota right here, show sponsor, and we can get her for like MSRP off or whatever the employee pricing is.
So let me ask you this then. So why no? Why is that a no? Or why?
Ask that one.
I will. I'm going to have to.
Yeah, because they can get her everything she wants without completely breaking the bank.
Listen, get what you
it's not about me.
She's got to get what she wants, man. And
she doesn't know what she wants. They never do.
Put them in the car and watch.
Yeah.
What are you okay messing with? What are you okay walking up to? What are you like looking? If you see any type of hesitation, there's something wrong. And that's where I'm going in. Me being in the car business, my job was to figure out what that hesitation was and spin it to something else that's positive.
You know what her biggest complaint? She's got her complaint about the MDX. One of them, it just doesn't have any power. Okay. And I said, well, drive in sport mode. I do drive in sport mode. Well, okay. It seems fine to me because I drive the Honda Z, the 64 horsepower. So every time I get into the MDX, I'm like, wow, is this a Type S? The wind noise, because we've had the door seal, has been bad since we bought the thing. They've never fixed it. Like you can actually see it when you roll down the window. You can see the freaking molding is like, wrinkled up. Easy stuff to fix. Mm-hmm. But if you get a sorted one, it probably doesn't have the same wind noise. I told her, well, your tires contribute to the noise too. It's not like we're buying Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's for her,
right, to
drive to and from work. No. We're getting fucking Generals or whatever the hell we're gonna get.
Whatever's gonna give you the most mileage, and you got to worry about it.
It's a lease vehicle. We're not paying. We're not buying premium tires, right? For when we turn the thing in. But it's just
once again, this is gonna be
the Lexus is gonna be quiet.
You should. Have you thought about renting one and just kind of putting her in it for the weekend and just kind of see how she likes it?
No, why would no? Where are we gonna rent that? Churro?
I don't know. This.
You ain't renting Lexus GXs or TXs at Enterprise.
Well, somebody's got to have it on Turo or something, right?
They might have it on. That's a good idea.
I don't know. We live in a day and age where things can be where we need it. We just got to like type it in Chat GPT or something, and then it'll point us in the right direction.
She just needs to go for a test drive, and that's what I keep trying to push her.
And I'm telling you, you take it, you drive it, and then just if you're okay, and then pay that. But so let's separate dealership from a private market. If she can get the money out of the private market, go ahead. But selling it to the dealership also gives.
No, we wouldn't do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You're not going to sell it to the private. I thought that.
No, we weren't going to sell it to the dealership.
Okay, good. Because you already know
we're going to private it because we're going to get more money from the market. Because once the dealership knows you're fucked, they're gonna be like, "Well, we'll give you rock bottom on that trade-in."
Exactly, and they always know how to move the numbers to still benefit their deal, and which isn't a bad thing.
They want to get you out of the lease so that you get into their car.
Yes, pretty much, and whatever they got to do to make it where it's profitable and everything makes sense, they're going to.
Because she wants to sell the car so that we can take that money minus the balloon and apply that toward the new car.
Makes sense
as the DP.
Smart.
Yeah, but we haven't done it yet because she can't decide what she wants.
Dude,
is it bad if I tell her we need to just go out and get her car, and then once we've secured that, then we can list the MDX immediately?
since you're not taking it to a dealership, it's up to you, man. If you're okay making both.
Because there's no reason why we would have it that much longer. I mean, again, we're staring down the barrel of less than 2 months now. This is a March thing.
So put it up now and just see what you get.
But then if we sell it, it's like, I don't have a car. Can I take the NSX to work?
Hell no. There's a little Z right here. It'll get you there nice and safe.
She drove it. She ran errands in it one day.
And what'd she say?
Oh yeah, she was like, I gotta go run an errand. Can I take the NSX? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. It's your car too.
What?
Yeah. So she took the NSX to a work meeting. Of course, all the coworkers are like,
That's awesome, man. It's gonna make you feel good inside, though. You made a good choice.
I don't give a shit, but maybe it makes feels good to her.
Well, yeah, it's my husband's
car. Here's the thing. Yeah, anything happens to the car, it's a car.
Yes.
On hand to God, I mean, end of the day, it's a car.
Yes.
If I ever have to sell it, I'll sell it if we need it for something.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I love it, but I'm not attached to it like it was my first ever dream car.
Got you. I got you. But at least you're sharing it and letting somebody else experience it.
Dre, what else you got before we wrap this thing up?
Man, not much. I'm just glad I get to hang out with you and just, shoot the shit, go back and forth about the car. I'm sorry about the Prelude, but
Tell me about your Jeep really quick.
The Jeep?
Yeah, is that a purchase or a lease?
Purchase.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Why did you guys decide to purchase that instead of lease it?
Because I don't believe in leases.
Oh, I see. Why don't you believe in leases?
Because I don't like renting vehicles.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But it's the same. It's a similar argument of people saying, "Well, I want to buy a house. I don't want to rent, and I'm renting an apartment." And I said, "Well, you're not really renting an apartment. You're paying for a place to stay."
Sure.
But people, it's hard to get people to wrap their head around that. The car thing, I understand, but when you buy a car, you're taking on a lot more responsibility than if you lease a car, where the responsibility falls on the dealership if anything fucks up. So it's kind of like this trade-off. But
no, you're right.
In your philosophy.
I like maintaining my vehicles. I don't mind getting in and repairing things as they go awry. I know there's going to be levels of maintenance that I'm not going to be able to do, but I'm willing to save up and be ready. So when those things do come up, I know they're going to happen. Just take care of when I do. And it doesn't put me in a situation where I feel like I'm always kind of starting over again.
Yeah.
Car, and I have a Seedance product. It's not the best. There's some things that have failed along the way, but also I just do my best to stay on top of maintenance on it. So hasn't had as many issues as other Jeeps and stuff that I have witnessed at the dealership. But for me, just getting to the bottom, it's just this. There's usually everybody has a budget for what they're willing to spend on their vehicle. And that budget, sometimes they try to fit a certain name brand into it, or they just wanted to get from A to B. As long as you are doing it in a way that's going to benefit you and it's not, a drain, do whatever it is you want. Because some people don't want to deal with cars. Some people don't even want to deal with maintenance, repairs. And if something goes wrong, they don't want to have the anxiety of I don't know what to do and I don't have the money to deal with this. Then at least it's probably always going to be the best option. Me, I'm like, well, it broke. Uber and I'll figure it out. Or I'll spend the weekend and just get it up and running again. And I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, this vehicle is going to be mine. And it's up to me to make sure I keep it on the road.
What do you think of the Hyundai Palisade?
I like them. Okay, so listen.
There's a brand new one that just came out.
Hyundai and Kia.
This is their era right now.
Bruh, they are the 90s Hondas right now.
They are, yeah.
That's the way I feel. They're not that expensive, but they have all the amenities. And they have a couple things that you can kind of play around with and still make this car kind of cool. And people that are getting into those cars, more power to them. And I hope that they hold on to them, maintain them, and do what they need to do. And they're probably just not going to get caught up in all the other stuff as all these other, manufacturers are. As far as I need to keep up with this. No, because they have everything already in their car. They already have that moon roof. They already have all that power or whatever. And they didn't have to go in $80,000 for that vehicle. So I'm looking forward to that.
You want to, you have time for a pop?
Yeah, dude.
All right, so what I'll do is we'll bring this episode to a close, and then I found a new liquor spot. It's not really new. It's in Mesa today, so I went by and it's called Red Stop or One Stop Liquor Shop or whatever off of Alma School.
Uh-huh.
And someone posted on the Arizona, like one of the bourbon pages, and they had like bottles of Blanton's Gold.
You said it was an Alma School?
It's on Alma School.
What's the cross street?
Alma School and Baseline. Just on
That's
the other side of Baseline.
literally right down the street from me.
It is. And off on the 60 side.
Okay.
But they have Blanton's Gold for $144 a bottle.
Okay.
And so which is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I called them. I think the last time I bought it at the Fry's, you know, when they do like their morning allocations, and if you're not there in 20 minutes, they're gone.
Right.
And I think I paid like $138 for it, which is cheap as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I called them and I'm like, hey, do you guys still have the Blanton's Gold? And they go, yeah, limit 6. I said, I only want 1.
Uh-huh.
They're like, yeah, cool. So anyway, I drove up there and I talked with the guys, and I think that might be my new place because their prices retail, they look like they would be a second-hand shop for bottle, but they're not.
Okay.
So I think that might be my new spot. And the guys are really cool. They have all the tequilas I drink too.
Gotcha.
At like Fry's, like normal prices, not total, because Total Wine is starting to get more expensive.
They're commercial, bro.
They're creeping up for everything.
Right.
But I'll still go to Total Wine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is my new spot. So anyway, we'll close this out and then we'll get some pours in.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
If you like what you heard today, subscribe to the podcast and go and tell a friend about it. Leave a review on Apple, Spotify. And it's funny, I'm still reading this, but I want to thank Right Honda, Right Toyota, Spark Forge AI from Marcus Foundry, one login, one platform, all under your control. AutoCannon officially licensed Honda and Acura gear. In fact, I'm wearing an NSXCA SGR collab clothing from AutoCannon for the NSX Club of America. Want to thank Patreon business supporters, Kuya Automotive out of Winter Garden, Florida, Automotive Specialty Tools out of Owings Mills, Maryland, the Lucky Break Sports Breakers out of Conroe, Michigan, Beak House Small Home Design out of Ashburn, Virginia, and Traverse City, Michigan. Last but not least, Shaping Success Treasure Valley out of Boise, Idaho. If you want to help the podcast upgrade, I don't even know why I still do this because I'm kind of like hit a stale with this, but want to help the podcast upgrade, you can become a Patreon for as little as $3 a month, get access to bonus audio as well as show swag. That's patreon.com, Hard Parking Podcast. Link is in the description. Make sure you follow the show at Hard Parking Pod on Instagram, or you can follow me personally at Jhae Pfenning on Instagram. Email questions, comments, or concerns, info@hardparking.com. I want to thank Mark Stoneman, Catherine Cox, Eddie Ramos, Richard Graves, Byron Jones, Bo Jung, Alex Gamina, Drew Bunkley, and Dre Mullins. And I will see you all next week.
Hey, you got pretty good at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this part at least. It's one thing I'm pretty good at.
Oh, man.
Shut up!